afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. This is hashtag No Limits, and I am your host, Shelly Kino. Hashtag No Limits is about people who society places limits upon, but who are busting through those limits. Ophelia says in Hamlet, "We know who we are, but not who we will be." And I believe that to be true, and that there is not a better or more beautiful example than the caterpillar turning into the butterfly. Very quick and simplified science lesson of how that happens. The caterpillar literally dissolves into its cells, and it just must think that its life is over at that point. But then it reforms into the butterfly, but it isn't finished struggling. It then has to fight to get its wings strong enough to take it everywhere it's going to go once it gets out of that cocoon. And I believe that that is possible for us. And I believe as humans, we probably go through that metamorphosis a few times or more in our lives. And I just like to bring you those stories of people busting through these limits because they, to me, are incredibly inspirational. And I want to inspire you too, that whatever challenges you are facing, they're challenges. They're not the end. If you're still waking up every day, there's still room for you to move forward. So I just want to remind you to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Give us a hashtag and where you're watching from, hashtag live or hashtag replay and where you're watching from. And without further ado, I think I've covered. Oh, if you have any comments for myself or my guest today that relate to what we're talking about, please pop those into the comments and I will be sure to pull those up. Okay, now I am so excited to bring my young guest on today. And I say young, he's a grown man, but he's young compared to me. And I have been following him for about 5 or 6 months, I think. And he is hilarious. He is a prankster. He has been on Kelly Clarkson and just a really cool guy. At least I think he is, at least from his social media, he is. This is my first opportunity to get to know him. So I'm going to bring him on now. Drew, thank you for joining me. How are you doing today?
Thank you so much for having me. Doing great.
Good, good. So as I said in your intro, I've been following you for a few months, and I just want to tell people that, like I said, you've been on the Kelly Clarkson show, and you are currently in a journey right now across the country. And so I'd like you to talk about that. But first, talk about who you are without all these other things. Just tell us who Drew is.
Yeah, so my name's Drew Davis. I was born in small town southern Missouri of less than 2,000 people, and through my life, I was born with cerebral palsy. And from the beginning, I was always breaking barriers from being the first person ever with a disability to be in general ed classes, or at the age of 12, I was one step away from making the U.S. national power soccer team, or the age of 14, where I weighed 300 pounds at the time, and my doctor said I was going to be bedridden if I didn't make a change, and ended up losing over 100 pounds during COVID. So my whole life, I never know for an answer. So how I got originally into hot sauce, which started this whole journey, is during my weight loss. During my weight loss journey, it was the lowest calorie condiment on the market, so really got into it. And when I had a school project in my entrepreneurship class that was due in 2 days, I'm like, what am I gonna do? And I was always like to make fun of myself, and I look at myself, I'm like, I like making fun of myself, and I like hot sauce. Let's do Crippling hot sauce. And this plan, I wrote about, was rewriting the perspective around the disabled community and showing that we're just like you, and that we do have this beautiful sense of humor, and that we just want to be treated like everyday humans. Presented it, got a 82%, and at the time, as a straight A student, never received that before, so I'm like, something's wrong. Went up to the teacher, asked him why. He's like, thought it was a great idea, just thought it was unrealistic didn't think you could do it. So turn that into my motivation and use the $3,000 that I saved up from birthdays and Christmases to my life and launch Crippling. And fast forward to today, Crippling is a multi seven-figure brand while I'm supporting people with disabilities. Recently rebranded to Stacked, and now we give a percentage of proceeds to my foundation, the Limitless Foundation, which funds the dreams of other disabled people. We started with cerebral palsy research, but as I got older, I wanted a larger impact that's more visible for the people that are supporting me. So that's what we're doing now.
That's awesome. Thank you. Take a breath. That was a lot. So I just want to say we've got a couple people joining us. We've got Grace Community Baptist Church, howdy from Southern Illinois. And I'm not sure who this person is. Oh, Daisy. Jesus loves you. He died for your sins, rose again, offers you eternal life to all who believe in him. He's coming back soon. So thank you to those who have commented already. So Drew, for anybody who might be watching who doesn't know what cerebral palsy is, can you give like how somebody might develop cerebral palsy, and then some of the effects of it?
Yeah, so it's actually like damage to the cerebral cortex. So it could be done like most of the time before birth, like in the womb. Could be like you're laying on the umbilical cord, it cut off a lot of the blood flow, or it could be something like right after birth. But basically, it's just damage to the cerebral cortex. It's and that's kind of how your brain and muscles communicate. So my legs do work, but the right muscles don't fire with the correct messages. So like they don't work correct enough to walk or any of that stuff, and sometimes they fire involuntary. But that's basically a very dumbed down version of what cerebral palsy is.
All right, thank you. And we've got someone else who joined us. Richard Marietta says you're wonderful and keep striving in what you're doing. I love you, man.
Thank you, appreciate it.
So yeah, let's talk about this journey of the 10,000 miles and what was it, 38 states that you...
Yep. 10,000 miles in 38 states, all on a journey to raise $100,000 for my foundation, the Limitless Foundation. And that leads into March 20th, where we are going to give out the first ever grant for the Limitless Foundation on live national television. So it's kind of, through my life, I've like been great at creating momentum and hype, and this is just another way to build awareness around our mission and what we're doing. And our goal really is to be the number one funder of dreams for disabled people in the world. We have some big things in the horizon. Obviously, just like a business, foundations take a while, take some time to get momentum, but just in the first 60 days, we've raised $25,000.
Nice.
So pretty good. I think over the next 3 months we have some crazy things in store that will only start. Like we just started our social series a week ago. Somebody threw their first event this weekend, and so that they're throwing their first event this weekend for the Limitless Foundation. It's a pickleball event. That's the second grant we're giving now a paralyzed former hockey player, a grant that he ended up unfortunately becoming paralyzed after getting hit into the boards during a hockey game. So that's our second grant, and we have many other grants lined up throughout the year, and it'll all be documented on the Limitless Foundation social pages, and people will be able to see the impact they are making with every single donation, which I think is a great thing because transparency in a lot of non for profits aren't great. Like, so I'm excited to really show people's donations getting put to work, and it's my new kind of journey that I'm on that I'm super excited about.
Cool. And so you said that the grant recipients that you would share it live on national television. What
The first one,
national?
yes.
Yeah. So what
Good
national platform will it be on?
Good Morning America.
Oh, nice. Okay. So as we've talked about, a little bit, you had some challenges in school with some of your teachers. I think you said it was your seventh grade teacher saying, well, it was just not a real good concept that you had.
I was sophomore in high school at the
Oh,
time.
so okay, okay,
That's
um, yeah. And so, have you gone back to that teacher since you said that was your motivation?
he is avid supporter. Obviously
Nice.
loves what I'm doing. And at the end of the day, it's no hard feelings. Like now is like knowing what goes into a business. If he's talking full scale business at 16, 17, 18 years old with no team, he's darn right. It's pretty unrealistic, but I've always had a want to do pretty darn unrealistic things. I know this year we're teaming up with somebody to make the world's fastest wheelchair in November. Gonna go, and my goal throughout my life is literally just to push the limits. Because I never thought I was gonna be here as a business owner, inspiring millions of people. So the fact that I am in this blessed position now, I just want to see, how far we can take it. Can I build the world's fastest wheelchair? Can I, in April, we're becoming the first duo ever to complete, the youngest duo ever, my bet, to complete a full Ironman, and that's in Austin, Texas, at the North American Championships. And for those who don't know, it's a say like 112-mile bike ride, a 26.2-mile run, and I think it's 2.6-mile swim, all in one day, back to back to back. You start with the swim, end with the run, and once again the youngest duo ever to do that in a wheelchair, and there's only been two people in the U.S. entirely that have ever done that. So that's just a little snapshot of what's on our marketing calendar.
So you are actually the one participating in this Ironman?
Me and my cousin Josh, yes.
Okay, because in one of your videos on your journey, you mentioned the fact that you can't swim.
So I so I'm not how it's done. It's obviously accessible. It's tough on my body still, but like I actually get pulled in a canoe. It's like a blow up canoe.
Mm-hmm.
So my cousin actually is a the physical specimen that's pulling me and pushing me and
Okay.
biking. But so that's kind of how it works. You'll see we're actually doing we're out in the middle of filming a feature length documentary right now around my story, my life story in the Iron Man, and kind of following uh, my life. So yeah, we're filming the whole journey, so that will release soon after. So you'll kind of see how we did it. There's a few videos of the half Ironman we did, and that kind of shows like how it's done. to somebody with a disability. But yeah, you're right. I cannot swim. Swimming is actually one of the water is. I'm not a big fan.
I'm with you there, Drew. I almost drowned when I was 7 years old, and I still to this day am fearful of drowning. And I kind of know the concept of swimming, but I don't do it. I like the water, but I don't go in it to swim. So
Yeah,
I'm with you there.
I kind of feel. Yeah, I feel it. I feel it.
Yeah. So this cousin, Josh, that you mentioned, again, I've told you I've been following your journey, and so I think it was yesterday's episode or maybe the day before where you tased somebody in the
Uh,
video.
that was my friend Aiden that works
Oh,
for
okay.
me. We've been friends since third grade. Uh, Pretty much my whole workforce is either family or friends or our culture is very tight, so it's basically people that I would hang out with, whether we were working or not. So yeah, that's kind of how I built the company. My two of my cousins work for me. Um, my parents help out daily. And the only person that's not like family or been around for years, but I'm pretty close is my videographer. But yeah, it's a very tight knit group, and also like when you're building a startup thing, and everybody needs to be bought in or and 100% in, because at the end of the day, you're trying to go at brands that have hundreds of millions of dollars annual budget to spend, and what is your strategic advantage is what you're saying, and for me it's 100% our mission and the social content and the ability to move fast and the close knit team. It's kind of
Yeah.
nobody really enjoys working in the corporate world, and that's kind of like the anti corporate kind of like niche is what I go for. And well,
Hmm.
it started with crippling, but like crippling, got me where I was. But like I noticed, like when I first launched crippling, I was 16, and I soon realized that my brand was much bigger than like a gimmicky name, and we really always have been flavor first. And people, when they think of crippling, what do they think of? They think hot. In today's society, even today, we don't really think about a disabled founder and the reason why it was too much to think of. So we simplified that under the new brand name Stacked, and that's under the slogan when the odds are stacked against you, stack the odds in your flavor. So that's kind of the mantra we're going to. Also allows me to expand past hot sauce and into stuff like barbecue sauce or whatever we might need, just to allow people that want to support to be able to support without having to worry about is this product hot or isn't it.
Sure. No, I appreciate that. And I will be honest, I have not tasted the sauces. I'm kind of a bland food type of person. So, but it is something on my to do list. You actually, from your small town in southern Missouri, are really not all that far from me because I'm in the metro east of St. Louis. So, I'm hoping that someday I will get to come over and meet you in person. And I appreciate you coming on virtually today and
Well,
sharing about your sauces. And I like that you're delving into possibly some other categories. And so I've been sharing a couple of your social media. So we've got the Facebook is at crippling.com. The Instagram is crippling underscore Drew. On TikTok, you are at Crippling Drew. And I think I'm going to share your website right now, just because I want to show people what you were talking about before, where you were mentioning that people can apply. for the grants right now. So I was curious if you would like to talk anything else about the website.
For sure. So this is our foundation website. Kind of explains, what we're aiming to do, and this allows you to go on our website and fill out the grant form. And to start, what we're doing is we're giving out $10,000 grants, and the cool thing about us is we most non for profits give our like a lot of their donations go to overhead. Ours is not going to do that. We are going to actually give 100% what is donated to somebody. In the form of, like I said, $10,000 grants. I'm doing a half marathon with an influencer this weekend, and so that's our next campaign. And the cool thing about us, what we do is when we partner with somebody like an influencer, that and they raise, let's say, $10,000, that $10,000 will be in collaboration with that influencer. So we're gonna have, like, let's say, you know, the his name's Brad Kraut. We're gonna have the Brad Kraut Limitless grant. We're gonna, he's in the endurance sport. In the endurance sport, like, niche. So we're gonna find, disabled guy with a that's in the endurance sport niche and collaborate and give it to him. I know we're doing a collab with another influencer where he's making his own sauce, and he'll also have his own grant to go along with the sauce. So I always describe Limitless as a community project, and because I really don't want it just to be me as the hero, as like the hero. There is a ton of people like me that have not been so gracious to have the spotlight that I've been given. So now I just want to share the spotlight and highlight different stories. And, I know I had we've had discussions like later this year going overseas and donate or like giving wheelchairs to underprivileged children. Like for instance, people in places like in other places of the world, they're still getting pushed around in wheelbarrows, and there is 1.3 billion people with disabilities, and most of them need a lot of financial help. It's the biggest gap currently in the world is funding for people with disabilities, not just in the U.S. but around the world. Like I said, people in Africa, they still get pushed around in wheelbarrows.
Right.
Like I just want to help as much as I can because I know there's so many people that can add so much value to this world. They just need help.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I love your tagline. And I took your website off, but I love what you say about, wow, and I got to find it right back. But it was that
Physically limited, mentally limitless. Is that?
No, the funding disabled dreamers who are ready to take action, not ask for permission.
That's a huge thing for me. I've always been one that's like, let's figure out how I can do this, not be sorry that I can't do it this way or play the victim and this way. I'm just like, I love people that go out and try to do it, even if they fail. Like it's part of life. Like I talking to Congress, and my line was, if you fail, it's okay if you don't. You're a legend. So like, I'm just like trying to give people the resources, money they need, whether it's a business grant, whether it's they want to do an Ironman with their family, whether it's they want to do X, Y, or Z. And even me, I have more aspirations past just house. I, with the foundation, would love to create like a stylish, adaptive clothing line. It's really hard to find clothing that works for people with disabilities while still staying independent. So this, like, I want to do more things in the disability sector through my foundation. So it's the first stage of a mini stage plan, but I have big goals over the next year, and I know there's a lot of big things coming.
That's awesome. Well, I have someone to connect you with. There is a woman in England who has a clothing line for people with disabilities. And she was on my podcast several years ago. And then I think I saw someone else who was also, oh, yeah, there was a younger lady. So she might be a better one to connect you with because she's probably closer to you in age. But yeah, they have both been guests on the podcast because it is so important. Like you said, there's a lot of people that have disabilities, and it's not, I mean, it can be like medical, like they need a medical port, or they need to somehow access something through some different clothing. And so I think that's awesome. And that's why I do some of these things. So in all of these things that you have done so far, do you have some favorite memories that you would want to share, whether they be, television appearances or things that you've seen on your road trip, or just life in general?
I would say my favorite part about this whole journey is like being able to meet people like, whether it be Brad Crowd or Gary Vanderchuk, don't know if you know who that is, or some of these, bigger social media personalities, and really like, opening their eyes to people with disabilities. Like the amount of times like I've heard like, man, like I have never thought about like conversating with like somebody with a disability, but like you opened my eyes to the disabled community, and like I just want to help the disabled community in whatever way possible. Like I remember like me and Brad Crow, we literally met we're doing a college tour for a media company, and we just so happened to be, and then we just kind of hit it off, and now this is going to be our second marathon we've done together, and he is a big proponent of what we're doing at the foundation. He's just like, man, this is so awesome. Like I never knew, that disabled people were, just like me or just like my friends, because the stigma behind it is that you guys are different. But thanks for opening up my eyes and showing that you're literally just like me. You just have a different way of getting around. So that overall is my favorite part. Being able to make videos and being like, oh, I just had a kid with a disability and I was super scared and nervous, but now I know that he's gonna do whatever he wants to do when he's grown. And just that eye-opening part and inspiring and showing people that we just because like people say like I was dealt the bad hand. No, I never say that. I say I was dealt a different hand, but I don't think it was bad because I think being disabled gave me a perspective in life that a lot of people just don't have. I think that's like a competitive advantage, is the different perspective.
And I appreciate that so much. I mean, your foundation, Limitless Foundation, which is just Limitless Foundation. I'm going to pop it back up here again. .org.
LimitlessFoundation.org.
The Limitless, thank you. The LimitlessFoundation.org. And the title of this podcast, hashtag No Limits. I as a former teacher, I used to hear that quite frequently, that a student wouldn't be able to X, Y, or Z by, when they got older. And to an extent, that teacher said that to you, when they said they didn't think it was a very logical idea. And so I'm very much on board with your philosophy. And I like that it's stacked with flavor now, and that you've named the product Stacked. And So I appreciate, again, just you've been on a lot of television programs, you've been on a lot of radio shows. And yet, when I asked you what your favorite things were, it wasn't anything related to those. It was who you have met and the lives that you have impacted and the changes that those people that you have met have experienced because of meeting you. And that's kind of the goal of hashtag No Limits, is for people's minds to change about people with disabilities.
Yeah,
and so I appreciate.
I think that's really important because, like, every time I say this exact same answer, people like always expect me to say like my favorite moment was meeting Kelly Clarkson, or like. But I think at the end of the day, why those people are awesome, none of that really matters. It only matters like the lives you change every day and what you're doing to better the earth, because that's what people are going to remember you for. At the end of the day, nobody's going to care in 30 years if you met Kelly Clarkson, but they will care if you changed the perspective of 1,000 people around people with disabilities. And that's what I even said, like, your mission, my mission is to change the world's perspective, but even like on a small granular level, if somebody wanted to go out and do this, it doesn't have to be at such a big scale. They could change their neighborhood's perspective around people with disabilities, and that's just as big of a win. At the end of the day, if you wake up and you've changed one person's life every day over 100 years, that's a lot of people. So I think a lot of people, what I like to do is break my big goals up into a ton of small goals, and it seems much more achievable. But compounding over time, that you're gonna hit your big goal doing this small goal.
Yeah, absolutely. And as a special education consultant, my tagline is making the world better for all, one person in special education or one IEP at a time. Because I have that same concept that I can't change everybody. But if I can change one person, and then that one person can change one person, and then that, and so on and so forth. It was so disheartening to me, and I can't even imagine what it must feel like for those in the disabled community to have people say, you'll never have a good life, you'll never go to college, you'll never drive, you'll never live on your own, whatever. I mean, whatever the you won't statement is, or you can't. I don't, for some people like yourself, that sophomore teacher, that inspired you and motivated you. For other people, that does the complete opposite.
I always say, like, yeah, that inspired me, but that has to do with I'm very fortunate to have a very good family that, like, really instilled in me from day one, like, exactly the principles I'm preaching of. You're just like us. Um, we're gonna make sure we do everything in your power for you to succeed and to have the resources to do so. Like, even me, like, starting out, if I didn't have my family all on board and helping me make the hot sauce by hand before I got to commercial manufacturing, I never would have had a chance. So it's all about, the community you build around you is a lot of the times, like, how we become successful. But unfortunately, so many people with disabilities don't have the same blessings I did. And the only way unfortunately, if you don't have a supportive family or whatever that's willing to help you, the only way to counteract that is with money. Guess what? Insurance doesn't care about your dreams. They
Right.
just care about, do you have the bare necessities what you need to succeed. So that's exactly what we're trying to do with the Limitless Foundation, is take out that barrier.
Yeah, I think you actually said something just before we went live that insurance companies help you to barely survive, I can't remember how you worded it exactly, but it was, that insurance doesn't cover it all, and they don't really care about your whole life, just about the one particular incident or situation that you're in at the time. And I'm not sure if I'm frozen or you're frozen, so I'm not sure if people are hearing me, but your picture has frozen. Okay, we're going to give him a few seconds to see if, or maybe it's me that needs a few seconds. I'm not sure. I can't always tell when it does that. So I'm going to just go back and make sure to share where you can find Drew. You can find him on youtube.com/@cripplingdrew. We also have the limitlessfoundation.org. You can find him at, nope, not that's, which one did I want to show you? Nope, I did that one. Okay, well, I apologize. I have to go back. Instagram. He is instagram.com@crippling_Drew, and he is also on TikTok. So while we wait for him to hopefully join us again, I am going to share a little video just to give you an idea of what I have been seeing in some of his adventures. So he started off, let's see, which one is day 0? Okay, so we're going to go to day 0.
Get to choose my punishment. Over the next 40 days, we are trying to raise $100,000. If you cannot afford to donate, one follow equals 1 cent donated. And if you follow the Limitless Foundation or Stack, I will donate 2 cents. Join us. We are limitless together.
That's actually kind of sick.
Now we're off. 38 states, 38 days, 3 men, 1 van. It's about to get real stupid.
That was cold as shit. Ow!
Wait, hold on.
Ow! Oh.
Wait, that's $2.
That's 1.
No, I use it.
Hey.
It's not looking good.
See if I can even get mine in there.
Hey, here we go, guys. What do you have to say about this van?
Shout out to United Access. There's not a lot of access in here, though. Thankfully, I have the mindset that size does not matter. And with United Access, small van packs a punch.
We got the
No.
Okay, I'll go bald.
1,000.
1,000? All right, first 1,000, I'll go bald. That's a good first check mark.
1,000 skin.
Skin?
Oh my
we
God.
actually do gotta get going though.
Okay, we'll
We
talk
actually
about
do.
the details of the car.
Is this guy revving the engine?
We are off, or we're almost off, and we're ready to go. Let's do this.
What do you guys say about it?
So, a couple of things that he has discovered on this journey so far is that there are several places that are not accessible to him in his wheelchair. And that is something that I find in 2026 is still quite sad, that we still have locations around the country that are inaccessible. In fact, I can't remember if it was in that day 0 or the day 1 video that he shared. He had gone to, I can't remember what the kind of gas station it was, or a store. Oh, it was a music store, I believe, in Nashville, Tennessee, and a rather big name music store. And there were only steps to get into his location. He couldn't get into this particular music store. So I recommend, I'm not going to show you any more of his videos. I would like for you to get out there and for him to get your views of his material. He seems very popular on his social media, and he seems like he's doing fabulous there. As he said, he has changed the name of the company to Stacked, but all of his social media is still listed as Crippling Drew. And I guess his internet connection is not working because he is not rejoining. So I'm going to say goodbye for today. And again, I just want to remind you to follow me. Like, subscribe, do all those fun things. Make sure you hit that notification bell so that you get notification anytime I go live with either a hashtag no limits, or I also share tips and concepts regarding special education concepts for the IEP, as well as behaviors. And just remember, guys, we know who we are, but not who we will be. Have a great week. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey, parents and teachers, are you tired of IEP meetings that feel like a battle? Let's put an end to the tension and create a collaborative, calm, and respectful environment together. Shelley Keno, your go-to IEP consultant, can transform your meetings into positive and productive experiences. With Shelley Keno, your child is her top priority, your voice is heard, and you become confident. Shelley Keno is making the world better for all, one IEP at a time. Visit www.shelleykeno.com for more information and set up your free 20-minute consultation today. That's shelleykeno.com, SHELLEYKENOW.